Hey, good evening. And here's another market recap session for tonight. It's a very, very interesting day today at the market, actually. Quite a lot to talk about, but again, I can't just talk about everything. Just give you a quick recap and then we take it from there, really. So, first and foremost, let's share the screen. And as usual, the day started amazing. It did start very well, but we had something on the way. So the day started very well. We had the cues. I mean, yes, the market kind of ended up down. It's an incredibly, incredibly strong market. We are still inching up, all-time high really in the market. If you look at today, yes, today we closed quite slightly red, but it's an incredibly strong market. And as we're saying, um, let's have a look. So yeah, we closed slightly red. I mean, prevent distractions right there. Okay, so we closed slightly red, as you can see right there. It's 0.03% down, but I think the markets it just wasn't a very certain market. Like I said again, if you look at I think the talk of the town, what everyone has been talking about has been gold, gold, gold. Let's see if you quickly load. There you go. So we're talking about gold, and gold is one that has been running away. But what an incredible dump! It was a 6% dump today at the market, and I think there's a lot of speculations, things or fears about United States resolving the trade or the tariff war with China. But I think we had President Trump, and he gave us something like I wouldn't call it a shocker per se. I'm just trying to quickly put it in here, and he said there's no immediate plan to for the meeting, Trump Putin meeting today, and we thought, okay, here goes again. So that was another one which just collapsed gold really. But we're seeing, but if you look at the price action, I think the price action has been telling you this thing has been incredibly oversold for such a long time. So that's that one. Also, if you look at oil as well, I mean, something is just saying, look at oil. If you have a lot of patience, I think. Again, nothing is financial advice. You'll be thinking, it's time, it's time, it's time. Because once oil breaks this low, then we are at a 4-year low. And I've been talking about this since, I think I mentioned this yesterday. Yes, overall, long term, oil has been sliding down. That's what we want. We want cheaper oil. It helps the industry, but generally, it hasn't been great. Also, even natural gas as well. I think natural gas opened with an amazing surge, but they've got different fundamentals, which is controlling both of them. And you can see this is just telling you based on the market we're talking about the markets in Europe, or sorry, the weather as well. And, we are in the winter month right now. So we expect natural gas to make a surge at some point of some sort. But anyway, so that's that one there. Wasn't particularly paying attention to crypto, but if you look at, we've been having some of the crypto stocks been making a big, you know, surge, but I think today quite a few of them collapsed. They had a huge run, BTBT. I mean, these things, they tend to follow the Nasdaq, really, whatever the Nasdaq does or do, they just collapse. And one particular thing, I keep talking about importance of taking profits, because if you look at the crypto, I mean, we have monitored or we've watched BTBT go all the way from there, right from the twos to double, literally 100% on them. If you talk about a few of them as well, CL CleanSpark, CLSK. We've talked about CLSK, we've seen it double as well. So these are the reasons why you tend to take profit. I don't know what price some people entered, but if you entered in here, oh, look at that. You've seen this go all the way to all the way to $23. You need to be able to say, you know what? Time is enough. Let me get out of this market. And if I'm going to come back for more, especially if you're a trader, that's what I mean. If you're an investor, something else applies to you. So this is some of them. And speaking of taking profit, this is another one we're in. Been in this for a while now. It's quite popular one. And you can see here, it made a huge surge yesterday, but only to give it all back today. So very important. If you don't know what you're doing, be able to take some profit. If you get lucky, or sometimes if you traded well, part of trading well is being able to keep this money, what you keep, and that's what matters. Okay. Also, hey, the market has a new baby, Wall Street Bets. What are we talking about here? Beyond Meat. Beyond Meat has been on a multi-day runner. Look, another one today. Again, we had 146%. I mean, this is something we haven't stayed in too long. But look, 146%. And then again, after hours, it's back to 9. Can this thing, right from the lows of 0.5, it's just an amazing. It's had an amazing run. So from the lows, they did talk about restructuring the debt, etc. But look, as far as I'm concerned, it's just a piece of junk. I don't think the fundamentals have changed. I'm still not. I don't think people are all of a sudden eating, a processed fake meat. But there you go. But speaking of the market, this is an amazing run. I probably do see a run to 4, 5, and then we do get a rug pull at some point of some sort. They've got to raise capital somehow. That's that one. And yeah, speaking of another Beyond Meat, this is something we mentioned earlier today before the market closed, and boom, we had after hours of 9%. We'll see how this plays. When one runs, you're going to have quite a few of them, and there's quite a few of them like that because why not? The AMCs are done right now. This is the plays of 3, 4, 5 years ago. No one's really looking at them anymore. They have just been on the floor. AMC, GME as well. It's another one which GME kind of like trades like a crypto now, but the price action is just very ugly. There's nothing here for anyone. I know some people are piling in, but why not? We shall see how it goes. But the meme stocks are nowhere to go to right now. Also, I mean, I tend to look at these almost every day, probably because I'm based in the UK. I'm not just trying to help the sterling my own way, but of course, I use it as a correlation. And you can see right here, this is a play for me a play for me on the market really. And you can see it's sliding. And we know whenever this happens, of course, what happens to the dollar will gain. I mean, this is one of the major currencies in the dollar. So we can see here the dollar is gaining again. This is the market's telling us something. Gold is now sliding, crypto is sliding a little bit, and we can see the dollar gradually gaining ground all over again. Even also silver was down. So does that mean the uneventualities, the uncertainty, does that mean it's disappeared? Of course, absolutely not. But if you've seen something which has been going on almost on a daily, then of course you're going to expect a pullback of some sort. And we could see silver there on the 7% rug pull. So again, that's not that. If you don't take profit, then of course you would have expected to be rug pulled. Okay, speaking of that one, I think I do have something else. Yes, we do have Intel. Intel has been it's been a baby of the government, and I believe INCC, they do have not Intel. They do have earnings at some points. This is something we watch. I'm paying attention to anyway. I don't know when the earnings is going to be 23rd. Oh wow, this Thursday. So we've got 2 more days or 3 more days. So what they're going to announce, or 2 more days actually, are they going to announce new chip? Are they going to announce? I think they've got a new CEO, which is a bit serious. I know it's been for a while now. The government's got in there, and they've been making this what's it called? They've been making this random not acquisition, don't know if they made an acquisition, but partnership is the one to say. So we'll see how it goes. Probably Intel, OpenAI, who knows? Also, I think this is the play for the day. General Motors, GM, sorry. Yeah, GM, look at that. GM has just been amazing. I tend to call this the pardon me. I call this the perfect the perfect stock really. I just love the I love the play here. The price action is amazing. And of course, you've got to understand that GM, they split into different companies, different entities. They've had stock splits, and it's just been all amazing all around. I think I heard someone call it when they say the sum of the parts is more than the whole. And yeah, but if you look at GEV as well, it's just been an amazing company overall, or corporation. Also, HIMS is what I've been looking at here. On a quietly side note, HIMS here, I'm not exactly in a short, but since the CEO sold, I expect this to go down a bit more, and I'm looking, into the low 40s at least, if anything at all. Netflix, they had their earning. I didn't really listen to it. That was just about a few minutes ago. Um, if you look at Netflix, I just threw a a vomiting sign there. Yeah, it's you. I'm guessing the yeah, there you go. The missed earnings. It was a 6% down. Today is a big day for lots. We have lots of companies who are announcing their earnings. But before we go into some of them, also Halliburton. Halliburton was another good play. I think in the group I did say we should start looking at the oil producers, and Halliburton gave a great and amazing 12%, which was a good play. Yeah, there you go. So Halliburton give an amazing play. So that's one we talked about. Also, reported a revenue growth, and they acquired stake in Voltagrade. Um, more so the other ones we talked about, which I always talk about this all the time. I mean, it kind of feels like you're not happy with certain things. But there's nothing is personal here when it comes to the market, and we've been talking about the quantum, they tend to move together. They still haven't been playing. They've been down now on a multi-day. I mean, they did have an amazing 2025, and they have been coming down. Oklo as well. It's another one. Let's see. OKLO. So Oklo as well. I mean, this is a company with literally no revenues, and you don't expect to just keep going. I think it's just a retail section here. I think so. We do have quite a few of them. Like I said again, they tend to move together. Does that mean it's not going to go up more at some point? Of course, that doesn't mean anything much. But again, and then of course RGTI. I had a shot on here at some point, but I closed it a bit early. It's just on a stupidly crazy run. There you go. Also, there's another one I was looking at is CRML. CRML, this is just done a 10x this year. And there's this one actually I tend to look at as well. Look at that, 17% down, and ONDS. So they all been collapsing generally because they just had, I think I did say often and often, at some point you've run more than, how to say valuation matters. But when you are running so much, people tend to ignore valuations, but you got to pay attention to these things. Again, speaking of earnings, we do have tomorrow, which is going to be a big day. So, but today's a big day, by the way. I mean, in INSG is another one which has done so well after hours. I think it did 17% the last time I checked it. Sorry, INSR. No, not you. Not you. Um, where is it? Let's have a look. It's I no, not that one. Sorry, ISRG, there you go. I tend to confuse them actually. Yeah. ISIG, this is just an amazing company, really. It's a company I've never been able to get a bite of. Intuitive Surgical, there you go. And he had there you go. Look at that, 18%. And it's just a hot company generally. Hot overall. Um, but that's today done, really. I know some of them are still doing amazing. I haven't been able to look through all of them. NASDAQ is another one that did very well. Tomorrow, it's Wednesday, and we shall be looking at Tesla. Not particularly sure how it played today. I don't play Tesla every day. Some people play every day, but we don't know how this is going to go. We've seen some data, and I don't know if you want to do a data play based on when earnings are announced or anything. Also, we have AT&T, we have Lam Research, LRCX, and so we'll see how these things play tomorrow. But until then, something I just saw. So it's something I saw which I will be leaving you with today. Let's just have a look. It's an amazing quote. No, not just a quote really, but uh, where is it? Yeah. So speaking of Tesla, I mean, some people tend to look at this and to see how they play, but let's see. So let me just. So look, so Tesla stock rise or fall after earnings. Some people believe are there hidden secrets in delivery data? Not that I know of. If you look at it, when it's red, it's green. There's certain situations when it's just was certain very rare when it's green and green. But now people expect it to. I don't look at that as a correlation, but we shall see. I think Apple has been doing amazing. But so something here which is a quote by, let's see, by Stanley Druckenmiller, and it says contrarian investing. So you want to go contrarian on this side, but it said contrarian investing is way overrated. It might be intellectually cool to not to be with the crowd, but the crowd makes more money 80% of the time. But also, my retort is that people kill themselves at the turns and ends of losing as much on the turns as they make during the 80% of the time. But I found out that contrarian thinking, just to be contrarian, can be a death trap, particularly in bonds and currencies, because economic fundamentals are what they are. It's going to be a rough ride if it's very crowded. But I think the main thing is that you have to be disciplined. You need to be disciplined. You have to be unemotional. And to me, the really great ones, you have to really be able to play. You have to have courage. You have to play big when the opportunity is there. Make hay while the sun shines, whatever the term is. That's what I believe. And that's what I'm going to leave you with. So, which is what it says right here. So until then, I shall see you tomorrow on the field, and I hope you have a good night. If you really don't know what you're doing, please join the group to trade well or to invest with. But again, the best time to invest was yesterday. The next best time is today. Have a good night. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.